Hey everyone, it's Melissa with Web of Creativity, and this video is the page construction video for the Pockety Pocket Mini Album. And I'm going to start off just going through the album real quickly and all the pages that we were going to work on. So first, this is using, I use Graphic 45's Nature Sketchbook 12x12 collection and the 6x6 collection, along with the stickers, the ephemera cards, 4x6 and 3x4 ephemera cards for this album, along with spellbinders, circles and diamonds, embossing folder, and then I used 3 of the Memory Keepers corner punches. So I used the 1/4, the scallop, and the angle, which is on this side. So this is a 7.5 by 9 3/4 album, and I cut out all the butterflies from one of the papers, and this is a mini door plate from Graphic 45. So let's get started. There's 4 types of pages in here. So I have a double page set that's on the back side of every page, and each of them have 2 pockets, so it's a double pocket page. And this side is the hook and ladder page, so we have double pockets, but I call it hook and ladder because this one hooks in. So it's hook, pocket. And then for the tags, I just use the ephemera cards from the collection. So then we have our double pocket page. So the mats for these tags are the ephemera cards. And then this is the 6x5 unfolding pocket, because it looks like a pocket, but it unfolds. So it's flaps instead for your photos, or a little journaling area, or a small photo. And then another pocket page, a double pocket page. So I have the smaller pocket going a different direction. So the first one was, so it's top loading, and the second style is side loading. So here's some more, another hook and ladder. And then this large area for a couple of photos to go on. Another double pocket. And then this side is the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 unfolding pocket. So that opens. Double pocket page. Another hook and ladder page. Double pocket. And then we have another 6x5 unfolding. Double pocket, and then just one little pocket for the back cover. So I got a double pocket for the front and side, and the back is just one. So we're going to go ahead and get started on all 4 of the page styles. The kits and tutorial is on my blog, www.webofcreativity.net. Alright, this is the page construction for the hook and ladder page. So we have 2 pieces for the hook and ladder, and then 4 little hinge pieces. This is the base page. So each base page, there's 6 of them. 3 are out of craft and 3 are out of black. So I'm going to set that one aside. And both pieces are scored twice, so just follow the directions in the tutorial. So your short piece has the 1/2 inch score, and that's going to be your tab. So we're going to go ahead and fold that and taper the corners. So that's cutting at an angle up to the score line, and we're going to go ahead and add tape to that. Alright, then the bottom piece will get folded up. I'm just using my bone folder to flatten it. So the next are your hinge pieces. So you only need 2. And then we're going to add tapes to the inside. This isn't my normal setup, so my shadows might be a little bit different than normal, but it'll still work. Okay, now with these hinge pieces, we can, I should have punched them first. We can go ahead and punch the corners with any decorative punch that you want. I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers scallop corner. And again, I should have done that before I taped it, but it'll still work. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this piece. So it's about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Oops. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So with our second piece, we have 2 scores. So we're just going to do kind of like an accordion fold. So it's going to fold one way, and then the other side will fold the other way. Alright, then we're going to take our next 2 hinges. We're going to do the same thing. punch them and tape them, or tape them and punch them. And again, scallop punch. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the first piece. And then I got it stuck. Might be easier if I attach one side first. I think I got my tape too close to the end, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to tape my one side first and then fold it. There we go. Usually more than one way to do something. I'm just holding it flat so it's even. I don't want the having the same problem. Alright, so I want to just there we go. And then this part is where it hooks. So it's just there we go. And then we have enough room, plenty of room for a tag or two in both of the pockets. And then it will get attached to your main page. Oops. So that's the hook and ladder, and we're going to go ahead and mat this one. I do have all the pieces already cut, so you'll follow the tutorial on this. What I did was I did not ink the craft paper, but I did ink the paper, and I used Distress Ink Vintage Photo from Tim Holtz. I was debating whether to use that one or the black soot, but I chose to leave my cardstock uninked and my paper inked. So I have this big sheet for my main page, but this won't get attached until this piece gets attached, so we can have our tab covered. So our pieces, this little guy I distressed with a distress tool, Tim Holtz distress tool, and I used some of the Graphic 45 cards, and I cut it out. So I have several pieces. So I have our main piece for the background. and then our solid piece. So let me take this apart. I think the mats are the same size, but I'm gonna look real quick. Nope, this one's smaller. This page is just slightly smaller, so it fits in the pocket, so all the pieces for it is slightly smaller. So this is a triple page. The background piece, I have the scallop corner punched for that one. And I'm going to slide it down just a bit inside the pocket. Get my ATG, and that's only if you want to. I use score tape, but if you want to add a little extra tape, you can. Oops. So I'm just going to line it up evenly. So it has about a 1/8 inch border all the way around. Looks about even. I didn't tape this one. So I'm just going to add my tape to my piece. I think I was going to see if I had anything that I wanted to put behind it. So I'm going to actually not attach this piece just yet. We have stickers for this collection and butterflies and stuff like that, so I think I'm going to hold off on attaching this one until I do the extra decorations, and might put, you know, like a butterfly coming out the corners or something. So I'm going to save that one. This guy, if you can see that, I embossed it. Oh, with a Spellbinders embossing plate. I like the extra emboss on the plain sheets. It gives it something a little extra. I'll probably put something on top of it. I mean, you could ink the whole top of it to see it better if you wanted to. I just did the edges. And then the back side, because it's going to flip up, I'm going to want it to be my paper going that direction. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my ATG. And this little flap, which I'm thinking this flap right here or this one would be great for a little journaling spot. There we go. And then this piece. There we go. Find something to put on there. They do have, you know, the sheet with the stripes on it. You can put some butterfly stripes. That's when it's ready to be decorated with extra pieces. I'm just adding some ATG off camera. Our last piece. There we go. Now attaching it to our main piece, we're going to want to measure the top and make sure that it's even before we attach it, or eyeball it. I was just looking at it. So I'm actually going to turn this upside down so I can see it better. And then I'm going to attach my main piece. Looks good. So this is a good area for a couple of pictures or some cutouts, or some of the ephemera cards. Just a big open area, and then this hooks right on in there, and there's your page. Alright, for page 2, the base page is black, and this, I call it unfolding. So it has it opens, and then it opens, and then it opens. So it unfolds into your flaps, and it's not an actual pocket. But it looks like a pocket. So I call it unfolding. With this, it's 2 sheets of 2 pieces of craft cardstock. Now, I usually don't show scoring, but the second piece, I wanted to show you how I scored it. The first piece, I have a score in the middle, and then 2 scores at the top for the flap. For the second piece, it gets scored in the middle, but this isn't a full 12-inch piece. So if you use Tim Holtz ruler, it has that center point, and it shows you where the center is. So you'll put your ruler down and just find the center. So it's going to hang off the edge on both sides. Let's see if I can, so it's going to hang off the edge on both sides. And then you'll find your center point, and you're going to mark it. So that's where you're going to score at, is that center point. So you'll find on the scoreboard where you marked, and then you'll just move it up just a bit so it lines up with that mark. And then you'll score right there. So it's gonna be short. Let's see if I can move from this side. You can see where that, it's about an eighth of an inch off right there. But you want that center to be marked. And then I have to score a tab. I'm just going to score a 1/2 inch tab at the top. Okay. Oops. I always do that wrong. So I'm going to get my craft mat, craft knife, and ruler. So for the 1/2 inch piece at the top, we need to cut one of those sections off. So we're going to cut the left section. And craft is really hard to see the score line. I'm trying to use the shadow so I can see it while you can still see me. Okay, so I'm going to cut that 1/2 inch piece, and I'm going to go ahead and taper that corner. And taper this corner. And I'm going to fold. And add my tape to the tab. That is our bottom piece. Oops. So that is our bottom piece. I'm going to fold this over. Make sure it lines up. And I'm going to trim just a little bit more. I wasn't right on cue with the craft knife. There we go. Then with our first piece, we need to cut off the right side section because we only need one flat piece. So you're going to line it up from the center. And I'm going to turn it upside down so I can see it. There we go. So that's our top piece. And I'm going to go ahead and fold the bottom section. I have two score lines. So I have my flat there. And then with my bottom section that's taped, I'm going to tape it on here. Now remember, this is just a bit smaller than the top piece. So it folds right in there real easy. I'm just lining it up. So I line it up flush with the bottom. And then I can go ahead and just fold it. I'm going to go ahead and run my bone folder one more time on the edges. And there's my piece. So I did punch the corners. I used We Are Memory Keepers 1/4 inch side. There we go. And I need some magnets. Alright. Next is matting it. Alright, for matting the page, we need to first put the magnet on. So the first magnet will go in the middle of the flap. The second magnet, you put it on the flap and then you add tape to the side and then close your flap for your placement of your magnet. So now you have perfect placement. Then I cover my magnet with a piece of tape. Then I'm going to put a piece of tape. Alright, for my pieces, I already cut them down. So I have a 3x4 ephemera card from Graphic 45's collection. Yeah, 3x4 ephemera cards and 4x6 cards are perfect for this project. So I take the card and then I have a little accent pieces that's going to go on those sides, and then accent pieces for the body, and here's my flap, and then some pieces, decorative pieces for the top. I didn't do a full page mat for this album. Just looking at my placement where I want my little pieces. I cut out a little butterfly. This one isn't the 4x6 card. This comes out of one of the papers. Has these squares on them. So I cut them and distressed with the Tim Holtz distress tool and then inked it. So I'll probably do something like that. Checking to see where I want things and which piece I need to lay down first. So it looks like I need to lay this piece down first. So I'm going to measure about 2 3/4 down. So I'm going to take this guy off and these off and attach him. I forgot what I said. I say 2 3/8 or 2 5/8. Does that look good? Yeah, that looks good. And then it got stuck. What happens when you're not paying attention? I'm just pulling it up with my spatula piece that actually came from my Cricut. That and undo works great. So is it 2 3/8? Now I'm going from this side. There we go. Oh, I hope I measured that right. Yeah. And I'll put this piece down like that. So I'm just eyeballing stuff at the moment, because it doesn't always have to be perfect. Though I got this hanging off the edge, so I'm gonna have to cut that. But this piece is just one of the cutouts out of the collection. I have the 12 by 12 pattern paper and the 6 by 6 pad. Forgot to add my tape to this. I'm trying to do a lot of the inking and taping off camera, so you don't have to watch it, but still give you the tidbits that I used on matting, because you don't have to use what I do. You could just mat everything with full mats. And a tip for that is, if you want like a 1/8 inch border, then just trim your paper 1/8 inch, not eighth, a 1/4 inch shorter on both sides. So if you wanted to mat all this full sheet, just measure it this way and subtract 1/4 inch, measure it this way and subtract 1/4 inch, and you'll get your 1/8 inch border. Alright, so I think I keep being crooked. If I put that at 1/4 inch, checking. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And when I'm done, I might, there's some stickers and lettering. I might add some extra to it, or I might just think that it's good the way it is. So if I had that there, it was about like that. Is that right? Oh, there we go. Like that. That looks good. And my little butterfly. I like the distressed look because it kind of breaks up. It gives it a little bit of dimension, but not a whole lot. That's going to make the page thick. Okay, and then what did I say? Like a 1/4 inch down from the bottom. I need my scrap pieces first. So if I did, I'm running into a box at the top. I think it's 3/8. Yep. I made that 5/8. 5/8. Just checking to see where I need to put my piece. I know one piece is bigger than the other. I was just using my scraps and didn't feel like trimming. And it didn't matter because it was going to be covered. So I'm going to make this. I said 5/8, didn't I? My memory, I swear. 5/8. I'm going to turn this sideways so I can see better. There we go. 5/8, and then turn the right way. I'm barely on camera. I'm sorry. There we go. I'm going to do this one the same way. Oh. 5/8. Is that right? Before I push it down. Yep, that looks good. For 5/8 on the Tim Holtz ruler, can you see? You just count the spaces where you have that dotted line and a solid line. So that's 2, dotted, solid, so that's 4, and then the dotted is 5. So you just count them over. Oh, and now you can't see. For your 5/8. Alright, so I'm going to put this 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. Oh, not on camera again. It's easy to pull it out of the camera so I can see. If I move closer, then you get my head in view, and then you don't see anything. I'm just taking the tape off the back of my page. And I'm finding my center point. I'm eyeballing, but probably shouldn't. But I'm going to go ahead and... Ah, look at that. That's perfect. I'm going to open that up and give it a rub. Alright, so now with the front cover, I have my little flat piece here, and I'm going to cover the, don't forget to cover your magnet with tape. I'm going to take my tape off and then add a strip of my ATG. Getting my trash out of my way. Sorry. All right. Let's. Perfect. I don't want that. I want it about there. So I'm going to have it about 1/4 of an inch off the side. And about 1/4 of an inch in the bottom. Yep. Sorry, I had to get a better look at that. So I'm going to do these 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and 1/4 from the side. Yep. Looks right. The one thing I don't like about the ruler is it has in the 1/4 of an inch line has the dots, the holes in the ruler. I'm not 100% sure what they're for, but you can't see it very well. The dots get in the way of trying to look at that 1/4 line. So telling if things are straight are a little bit harder. That's right. And I'm going to put, perfect. Now you can cut out a large piece if you want. I like to use just the scraps that I have left over, because you never know what you're going to need later, especially if you use some scraps for like backgrounds of the sticker words from the sticker collection. I am out of tape. Alright, but I had enough for the piece. Oops. I'm going to have that about 1/4 from the top and bottom. That looks like it's even. Before I press it down, I'm going to measure real quick. About 1 inch on both sides. Perfect. There we go. Our next page is the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 unfolded pocket. It's similar to this one. So it has the flap, and then it opens and unfolds to 4 sections. So you're going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces and score them. So I'm going to show you, like I did on the first one, the second page for scoring. So this first page is already scored down the middle, and then the top section for the flap. So for our second piece, we're going to mark the center because it's not going to fit right on that center line, and score it. So you can see where the line doesn't meet one of the grooves, so you're just going to move it over a little bit until it's lined up with the groove and score. And if you can see right on the edge, it's not right up against the edge of the scoreboard. And then we turn it and score 1/2 inch for the tab. And then the next is trimming. So we'll take the piece we just had and trim off with our craft knife our left section, because the right section gets attached. I'm going to taper the edge so it's cut at an angle. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. And add my tape to the tab. so it lines up. That's our bottom part, and then our top part, we're going to keep the left side and cut out the right section on the second score line. If you can see the second score line. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fold so the edge meets with the other edge. And then fold the top two score lines in the same direction. So we're going to go ahead and attach our second piece directly to the bottom of the first piece. And we're going to do it flush to the edge. So I'm removing my tape backing. And again, the tab will get attached, and we're going to attach it flush to the edge. And there's our piece. So we're going to fold it, and fold it. And then once it's all folded, I like to run my bone folder just to get it smooth and flat. And there's our piece. I want to punch the corners of this. I'm going to use 1/4 corner punch. And then get a couple of magnets for the closure. So I'm going to attach about in the middle. So I'm going to add a piece of tape to my magnet. And just put it right in the center of the page. And then when you connect your second magnet to the flap, you add your tape. And then you fold it over. Line it up, fold it over, and it's good to go. So then I add a piece of tape on top of the magnet. And that's our page. Ready to be matted. Here we go. For this page, the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 unfolded pocket, I did bits and pieces. I didn't do a full mat, but if you wanted to do a full mat, just take the measurement of the page and subtract 1/4 inch from both sides to have a 1/8 inch border, or subtract a 1/2 inch on both sides and get a 1/4 inch border. So I'm going to take these strips that came from the paper collection that I cut out, and then I have some other little pieces I'm going to put down to accent both sides of the pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And I inked my edges with Vintage Photo. Just removing the tape backing. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can see it better. Oops. And I'm going to put my side pieces on. So I did these strips the full length of the page, and then I'm going to attach this, my accent piece is about 1/4 of an inch from the page. From the edge, not the page. It's a little hard to see when you're not so close to it. I'm trying to keep everything in camera. The page isn't straight. I'm attaching this about 1/3 of an inch. Oh, from the strips of paper. Looks right. Might be off just a bit on one side. Alright, and then again I just used scrap pieces and not the full piece, and then I taped the back of the pocket. And we're gonna I'm going to be off camera just a little bit so I can see a bit better. And turn it. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be about 1/4 inch from the top and bottom. And then centered. Before I let go, I'm going to go ahead and measure. It's 1 3/8. Alright. So it's about 1 3/8 from both sides. Okay. And how's the top and bottom look? It looks good. I'm going to open it up so I can give it a good rub. Alright, so for my flap I have 2 pieces I'm going to stack on top of each other. And all the dimensions are in the tutorial. You can either do full mats or partial. mats. And I cut out the butterfly from the collection. It matches the one on this strip of paper that I'm probably going to put up here somewhere. Or probably a sticker saying. And then I have this solid mat we're going to go ahead and attach. And I'm going to put probably something like that on there to decorate it. Alright, I'm going to take my ETG. And attach, so it has a 1/8 inch border all the way around. Alright, and before I attach these guys, I'll wait until the majority is matted and then see if there's any scraps I want to add behind this, or if I just want it straight or turned or whatnot. But that's the majority of this page. Alright, moving on. This section is the double pocket page. For the double pocket page, we have one large background piece that's going on the back side of the page. Now for the double pocket, we're not going to attach this piece to the page until the end, because the binding will get attached to the edge. So you can attach everything to the mat for the page, just don't put it on until all the pages are in the album. So that's going to be the background. Then we have two pockets, and I made the pockets out of the pattern paper, and then have tags and then the background to the pockets. So I already scored, just follow the directions in the tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and fold on the score line. And turn that sideways. So there's three score lines for 3 tabs, and then we're going to taper the corners, and that's cutting at an angle to the score line. So we're gonna cut, and then the bottom section that has the 2 folds, you can cut at an angle just straight across, or just taper them each separately. And then we're going to do the same thing for the smaller pocket. So when you're scoring your pieces, you're going to want to make sure of the direction of your paper. So for the big pocket, the direction is vertical, but for your smaller pocket, it's horizontal. So you want to make sure that the top and bottom and one side gets scored for your pocket, and not like your first one. So you just need to pay attention to how you're scoring your pages and what direction your paper is going in. So this is going to fold so your pocket opening is on the right. I'm going to get some tape. And add tape to all the 3 tabs on each pocket. So we have our pockets taped, and before we attach them, I'm going to add some ink to the edges of the pockets. This is vintage photo, and I've been using that on all of the papers. Now for the double pocket, I made for the back of each page, so all 6 pages has the double pocket. Now I only use the ink on the pattern paper and not the craft cardstock. So for this page I used a craft for the background, but you can use craft or black for the background. Like this page, even though it's black with craft, I do have one that's a craft background with black, or you can do the same color. So I might change these tags out to craft. So we'll see how it goes at the end when I'm ready to get everything decorated. So we have the background to the pocket, so we're just going to attach it so it has a 1/8 inch border all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oop. So it's up to you if you want to ink your craft paper. You can do a vintage photo like the paper, or you can do something a little darker, like walnut stain. Black I think will blend into the background too much, but the walnut stain has a little bit lighter color. Then we're going to do the smaller pocket, and it's going to do the same thing. It's going to be the 1/4 inch. And this is the same thing attached to get you 1/8 inch border, like that. So I'll have about something like that. Then for the tags, I'm going to angle the corners of the tags. I'm using We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile angle. So I'm just doing that at the top 2 corners. I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything at the top or not, but for these I'm using the ephemera cards. So I'll probably put, and then maybe put a little strip at the top, or attach a little butterfly at the top, or you know, whichever I feel when I'm ready to decorate. And so that's going to go at the top. I'm not going to attach this just yet. I might add, like I did on the front, this cutout from the collection, or some stickers, or cut out some butterflies, whatever's left out of my paper collection, or some flowers for decorating, and I might stick some stuff behind here or behind here. So I don't want to attach it until I'm ready to decorate. But this is about what it's going to look like. You're going to attach maybe a fourth from the top and bottom, or a little bit more on the top, maybe a half an inch from the top, a fourth from the paper. I'll have it in the directions, but there we go. So that's our double pocket, and you don't have to do it this way. You can always put this one like this, and have the double pocket like this. You know, you can whichever ways that you want to put them on your mat. But if you turn this one this way, just make sure your paper is you're facing the right direction. So, but you have your two pieces, and you can just put them differently, or do all the pages the same. If there's the binding on this side, you might want to do it this way to make the tag come out easier. So then this would be a different direction. So just pay attention what you want to do, your directions, before you attach your smaller pocket. The top pocket will always be this way unless you want to really cram it in there. It just kind of fits in the entire page, so I like that one this way. Alright, maybe even turn it a little. Yeah, be creative. Okay, that's our double pocket. Again, the back side of each page. For our binding for our pages, we're using the Stack the Deck method by Laura Dennison. So we take 3 pieces in the tutorial, go ahead and cut them out and score them. And each piece has 2 half-inch flaps. So once they're scored, we fold on the score line, and we're going to go ahead on the front sides. We're only taping the right side. When you tape, you want to tape directly to the edge, flush, so it has a little space between the score line. Let's see if I can get that to. So again, it's flush to the edge, and then you have a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch from the score line to the tape. So you want that on all your tab pieces. Oops. On the back side, flipping them over. So everything gets taped except the right side, because we have the tape on the front side. So, and between the score lines, we want to cover the whole area. That this is what's going to get attached to the album. So in between the score lines, you're going to tape the whole thing. And then just like on the front, on your tab, you're going to have it flush to the edge and have that little bit of space between the score line and the tape. So that's about like a 1/4 of an inch, or 1/8 of an inch spacing right there. So on the back side, everything gets taped except the right tab. And then on the front, the right tab is the only thing that gets taped. So once that's done, you're going to remove the tape backing and line this up evenly and in the center. So I would use a ruler, and you can either mark it and then stack them. So when they're all stacked, they're going to be all even. And it tells you in the tutorial, there's it's a 3/8 inch section between each page piece, each tab. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and attach those, and then we're going to attach it to the album. Once all the pieces are attached, if you fold all the tabs down, all of them will have tape on it, folding them down to the right. And if you fold them down to the left, none of them are taped. So that's what you want your end result to look like. So after that, you want to attach it to the middle spine area. So what I did is I did take a strip from the collection and put it at the top and bottom, because I have this seam in the middle of where my paper met. So I want to attach, so this is in the center of my spine piece. So it's going to be roughly about 1/4 of an inch on both sides, on the left and right side, from where it creases, and then center top to bottom. So we're going to go ahead and attach our binding, and then we're going to attach our pages. What I like to do is just measure it with my ruler and make a little tiny mark to see where my placement's going to be. Okay? Once your binding is attached, we're going to attach the pages. So you can see it's about 1/4 from the edge of your covers. So how these are going to get attached, we're going to start from the last one and then go forward. So I'm just going to show you one page. When you're attaching the page, you're going to have about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and 1/4 of an inch from the top, and then we're going to have some space. You know, we left that little bit of gap, that 1/8 inch gap. So when you attach, we're going to leave about a sliver or so. I'm not sure that's a full, no, it's about 1/16. So it's very small, but it's not flush when you turn the page. You don't want that page to hit. So we're just going to have it just a little sliver space. Oops. I always do that wrong. Alright, so I use tape. You can use glue, but to start off with, instead of taking the whole piece of tape off, you can just start off with a little bit and then work your way over. So if you do mess up, you're only dealing with the part that's already stuck down, and not the whole, trying to pull up this whole piece. So I'm gonna slide over a little, and I did make a little bit of mark down here where the 1/4 starts. It's hard to see. So I got part of it attached. And then before I fully let it go. I'm going to look. So you can see, let me see if I can get that to zoom in. So you can see that little bit of space right there that we have on the back side. And then the same with the front side. You can see that little bit of area right there. So when you close it, nothing's gonna snag onto it. So then you can run your bone folder over it. So that's what you're going to start off with. You're going to start off with your last page first and then move forward. Alright, the tags for the double pocket page, I use the ephemera cards for the mats, or you can cut out a mat. But I cut out the tags and then I use the We Are Memory Keepers angle punch and just punch the top two corners. I inked my edges with the vintage photo, and then I'm just going to attach my mats like so. And then I use a little ATG in the middle. And there are our tags for the double pocket page. Alright, for finishing up the double pocket page, we mat the back of the page first, and it's going to be a 1/4 inch border all the way around. And then we have our two pockets that need to be attached, and you can attach them different ways. This one I'm going to attach so it's vertical, but you can attach them whichever way you want. This one I like this way, and then I think my next one is going to be attached like so. And so I rotated from being vertical to the little pocket being horizontal. So we're going to go ahead and attach these, the large pocket first, and I want it about 3/4 from the top and 1/2 inch from the side. I'm just taking off the tape backing off camera, and then I'm going to just use some ATG for some extra tape. Make sure you attach it so the opening is up straight. So I'm going to go ahead and don't have a whole lot of room here, so we're going to go ahead and do, what did I say, 3/4 from the top and about 1/2 inch from the side. So it looks straight. Yep. And then I have my tag. That's the ephemera card I just attached to the tag. I'm going to slide that in there. And then for this one, I'm going to attach about like so, about 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch from the bottom and 1/2 inch from the side. Just removing my tape backing, adding some adhesive to the back. I said about 1/2 inch. Now if you wanted to put something behind the pages, I would have done that first. Then add my tag. So what I have here for decorating, I just cut out a little piece from the collection and distressed the edges and inked them. So I'm just going to attach it to the center area here. And that's it. So that is the double pocket page. All right, thank you. For the unfolded 6x5 pocket, we're going to go ahead and mat that. So we've only covered the front half, and we need to cover the inside sections. So some of the sections are going to get a full mat, and then two of them will have a decorative mat. So we're going to start off at the flap right here. So I'm covering the inside flap as the same paper as the outside flap. And then I just punched the top two with 1/4 corner rounder. Because I didn't do a full size mat on the front, I cut out a little piece for to cover the magnet, and small enough so you can't see it when it's closed. So for the first inside area, I took one of the cut apart pages, oops, it looks like this page, and just cut it out and distressed the edges and used vintage photo. So I'm going to use that, these little strips that came from the paper collection, and then a little mat. So that's how I'm going to do two of the flaps instead of full mats. So I'm just removing the tape backing on my bigger piece. And I'm going to attach it . And then I'm going to attach my little strips . I used the strip's only 1/4 of an inch, and I used a 1/4 inch tape, and some of the tape has just pushing that back over. Alright, so I'm going to attach this. I'm getting my ruler about 3/8 from the bottom. Oops. It's a little harder to attach after the pages have been put together. I'm just trying to get my tape backing off of my piece. And then rolling my tape over if it overlaps a little. Alright, move this closer. I'm going to do the same, about 3/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to attach this one at an angle. Alright, the next section is a full-size mat, and I just used a scallop edge for my corner punch for this piece. So I'm removing my tape backing. So what I did for this is I used 2 flaps are from the pattern paper. 2 flaps are decorated, and then 2 flaps are from the 6x6 solid paper, solid pad. And then this piece down here, just remember that the bottom section is just a little bit smaller than the top section. Not by much, but it is just a little bit smaller. So when you're doing your mats, you know to trim it down just a little bit. And of course the measurements are in the tutorial. And for the inside, I'm using the same paper as the flap for my 2 inside mats. And then this one's going to be a decorated piece. I'm a little running into, there we go, running into a little bit of space issue here. And then I have the same piece as this, except it's red and cream color. And I'm going to do I'm going to trim this down a little. Forgot to trim my piece. Alright. And my top piece. And And I'll have pictures in the tutorial of all my pages matted. And I think I forgot to trim this one down. I did. Alright. And then I'll take my little cutout piece. Alright, and then one last flap, and that's the back side. And I just did a solid color. And there, now our piece is all matted. And that completes our unfolded 6x5 page. Alright, moving on. Alright, we're going to mat the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 unfolding pocket. So I finished decorating it. I added a little strip for the back of the mat and added me a little butterfly. So now it's time to mat the insides. So first I'm going to show you de-stressing the little pieces from the collection that I get for, so this one's distressed and this one's distressed. I'm going to show you that real quick. These little pieces come from the Graphic 45 paper. So you just cut out the piece that you like, and then take some scissors and then just trim it. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. So I'm just going to cut it a little, you know, going in on some places, kind of following the line that's already there. And then I use a distress tool. Let me put a mat down, because I usually do this over the trash can. So I have a little Tim Holtz distress tool, or you can get We Are Memory Keepers has one. So this one, you just slide the paper in the little slot. And then you just do all 4 sides. So then we have a little distressing on the edges. Okay, I'm going to add tape to this and then ink it. I'm using Graphic 45 Vintage Photo. Not Graphic 45, Tim Holtz Distress Ink Vintage Photo. Okay, oops. So we're going to mat, like the earlier page, we're going to do two decorative ones, and then we're going to do regular mats for 4 of them. So first is the little flap for the inside flap. I'm going to go ahead and attach that. I'm just removing the tape backing. So for the inside, see if I can get that to stay open. I cut out pieces from the collection. I'm crooked. So I'm going to attach the strip from the collection onto a mat, and then put one of my distress pieces in the center of it. So this piece right here came from a strip in the collection, and then I just cut the little pieces out. So it's just definition pieces. Alright, so I'm going to put, just seeing where I want to put it. I think that looks good. Just removing my tape backing. If you want to do a full mat, that's going to be in the directions, so you can just do full mats if you don't want to do, you know, decorating the inside. I think I'm going to turn this one that way since that one's facing the other direction. Okay, for this piece I have just a full size mat that I just rounded the corners with a 1/4 inch corner rounder. What I'll probably do with this piece, because it's just plain, is cut out a butterfly like I did with the front cover. So after I mat everything, I'm going to go back and add some stickers to some plain areas like this, or cut out some butterflies. All right, for this, for this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and just do a flat, a solid mat, a full-size mat. Oh, I'm going to add, I forgot to do this. I was going to add some ATG on the inside, but that's all right. I'm going to open that up. Do I have any more room? Yes. So this side I'm going to do butterflies on the inside. I'm off camera, but I'm just removing the tape backing and adding some ATG to the back. Okay, so I'm going to... It's a little harder to attach when it's not on a flat surface. Alright, for this one, I took, this was a strip out of the collection, so I'm going to just attach it. This one might be cute with the little butterfly on this side. I'm not going to attach this one down. I'm going to do, I'm going to wait and see if I can add a butterfly underneath that. Looks about right. So I'll probably just attach this like this, but might add a little butterfly on the side underneath it. So I'm not going to attach that one just yet. I'm going to close that up. And for this final one, it's just a plain solid black mat from the 6x6 collection. But if you look at it, it's not fully solid. It's very hard to see in the camera, but you can see a little bit of a design on it. Okay. All right, so we are done matting this page. Okay.